Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at how you can beat the ultimate red zone battle against Syn Shenron in less than 7 turns. Now this is quite a tough challenge. It's not really one that you're going to be able to take on quite easily. And yeah, to be honest with you, I think personally speaking, these kind of speed challenges are always a bit, like, at least right now, so limited in terms of team building that I just don't really enjoy them that much. Like, I think there's very few teams that can beat these events within these time limits, and I think it just really is obviously something for players to work towards, but it's just, for me, maybe a little bit too much. But yeah, overall, in terms of this one, obviously there is a mission and we do have to complete it, and yeah, in terms of team build, I would say we go with a pretty decent one. I think whenever an event calls for speed, my first thought does go to Cooler's team. There's a couple reasons why. So firstly, although they build up, it doesn't take too long for Cooler's team to get going. A lot of the units, don't take a while to get going, especially with a couple of dupes in them. And for the most part, they can be relatively strong out the gate, especially if you've link leveled them. Now, full disclaimer, this team that I'm running is fully link leveled. So if you're wondering, how is he running this team, how is he doing this? Well, quite frankly, this whole team is fully link leveled. So they are all link level 10. They all have good gear on them as well. We're talking level 3s, level 5s, level 4s only. So just as a heads up, before it becomes like even remotely a question, this team is very finely tuned. Not to mention, on top of that, we're also using a Bulma support item, which increases our attack by 25% for 5 turns. And we're using this item throughout this event. So we're basically also sitting with a permanent 25% attack upgrade, which is, of course, also super duper helpful. Now, in terms of the team build, we're going with Cooler, LR Cooler as a lead, Terrifying Conquerors or Movie Bosses category, plus an additional HP attack and defense of 30%. 4 characters also belong to Transformation Boost. The whole team is going to be under this 200% leader skill, except for one unit being the Physical Metal Cooler. LR Cooler, you don't need to know too much about him. He just builds up that attack and defense with every single attack. He launches 2 additional attacks. He will start launching an additional super attack from once he's performed the 10th attack in battle. And we also have his active skill, which we can use once we've done 8 or more attacks in battle. So nothing too crazy with Cooler, and by too crazy I mean he's a huge damage dealer. You're going to see him really pop off at certain points in this event, and it's just how he is. Yes, there's the Bulma item, but for the most part it's pretty much just raw Cooler doing what he does. We're also aided in this fact by the fact that we have one of the best supports to float around for this team in Dbz. Now, Dbz gives Wicked Bloodline category characters attack and defense of 30%, but is also actually very sufficiently good himself as a unit. I mean, you're going to see him here fire off 4 million attack stat attacks. He has crazy defense after super, so more than fine. We also have alongside this, of course, the Boiling Evil Super Chinemba. Fantastic unit once again, really strong. The big thing about him is his guarding all abilities, and also he nullifies Ki Blasts. So the nullification of Ki Blasts is actually very crucial because Omega Shenron and Syn Shenron, all the different phases of Shenron, only fire Ki Blasts. So there actually really is no, how can I say, there's no distinct reason basically to essentially like move Janemba out of the way. He can just soak up damage, he can just guard there, and he provides the perfect like base for Cooler to work off, because they actually share Metamorphosis, they share Big Bad Bosses, they share Legendary Power, they share First Battle, so they share like quite a few links, honestly, and I think that's super important. Then we have the Easy Aid Strength Ultimate Power Cooler. Fantastic unit, great support as well, does good damage as well, and yeah, just a very, very solid unit to have on the team. Another reason why this team is so great is because it's got 2 supports that can hit 4, 5, 6 million attack stats, have great defense after super, and will still give your team between 30 to 50% support at any given time, which, in case you're wondering, is a lot. So yeah, team really right now is like pure damage all the time, and it is, to a certain extent important. Yes, we did lose a bit of DPS because obviously we ran, how can I say, we ran the revival skill, so we lost like basically a full turn of DPS. But even with that, we still managed to beat the event perfectly, like in time. So it does just go to show you that the whole team build is super high in raw DPS. Now there's a couple of things you want to pair up. Metal Cooler with one of the LR Coolers, you want to pair up Cooler with Janemba, and you want to float pretty much everyone else, which I think is, at the end of the day, more than fine. Nothing too bad with that. Physical Metal Cooler is a somewhat decent tank. As you saw there, he does take a little bit of damage during the strength phase, but the revive skill tends to keep us covered. So the revive skill kind of prevents us from getting a little bit too overwhelmed. But obviously, he can take some damage during that phase, especially at only 55%. If you've got dupes in him in that though, he actually ends up being a pretty good damage dealer himself though. So yeah, overall I would say really, really solid looking. During this physical phase, his active skill does some great damage, so that helps us out quite a bit. As you can see here, I've always liked Cooler's voice. But yeah, as you can see here, we are causing some pretty significant damage, which is good. We get rid of a bar of health with the active skill. We are a bit unfortunate in that we didn't get enough attacks with the Cooler to get his active skill, which is really the only shame here, but we didn't need it, fortunately, because I managed to find a friend Rainbow Cooler, which did a lot of heavy lifting. You would have seen that turn where he basically obliterated the whole strength phase on his own. Yeah, that's Cooler at full power, baby. He's a menace like that. He's really, really, really strong. So yeah, overall, honestly, this team just functions great. The damage, super duper solid. I don't think there's anything major I would say you need to change. I think every unit here just works the way they're meant to work. I don't actually think there's like anything I can advise, if that makes sense. We do take like a little bit of damage here, quite a lot. Well, we take quite a lot of damage, of course. The floating unit we have is the physical Broly. The idea behind it is that obviously in a situation like this where we're on our final turn and we maybe just need a unit that deals some damage, Broly being a physical type unit would at least mean if he can get multiple supers off, he cause still some significant damage. But we never needed to get there because, as you can see, Cooler just obliterates. He just does what he wants to do. So Cooler really was a large factor in us winning this fight. So if you want to take anything away from this, take away the fact that you should probably be running double Cooler if you're looking to beat this event. He doesn't have type disadvantage, he needs a strong team with high damage units, and there's plenty of options on that team to make it work. You just need to make sure that you can keep both Coolers on their rotations, because that's really where you're going to get the huge levels of damage. But yeah, so that's how to beat Syn Shenron in under 7 turns. Maybe not as exciting as... actually, I think this was pretty exciting. I think this team was just pretty fun, pretty rapid as well. Using the Bulma also certainly helped, and I think overall it was a pretty good strategy. But that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care and bye.